Well, today is my day on GMA's Guess Who's Coming to Breakfast series. So many words to describe the person I invited. And fancy, too. We got mimosas here.
Yeah, all out.
All right, I'm going to walk over here. Legendary is one of the words to describe this.
We really do have mimosas.
He can't even wait. On top of an amazing career, he's also a great friend. Guess who's coming to breakfast? Come on out. Oh, I love it.
They changed the locks. I used to have a key to the locks, and they've now changed the locks. You changed the locks. Why'd you do that?
Come on in. Oh,
Hey, Josh, how are you? Charlie.
One of the best huggers in the world. You are just miss those hugs.
Miss America, right here.
Oh, yeah, you haven't noticed
Congratulations! I heard you
Gibson,
won the
everybody.
thing. It's a blue dress. I love this. Really
Thank you,
classy.
Charlie.
You got the thing in your sock?
Yes.
Yeah, he wears his
that a
microphone
story?
in his sock. I've never understood
Have
that.
a seat here, Charlie.
Change the locks.
We did change the locks. I'm sorry about that. When last we saw you.
Is this the way the food is now every day?
Yeah, every day.
When I started this program in 1987, I left in 2006. There was the same set of bagels, and it had lasted for 19
Look
years.
what we did for you.
And now you get.
But look, Gary's going to bring in.
Come on in.
Eggs Benedict. You're fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Josh, will you do it?
Boy, you really blew the budget for this, Jerry.
Hey,
Jerry, how are you?
I remember when you left us in 2009, and you said after almost 20 years of doing this job that it wasn't a good morning, it was a great morning. Every morning was a great morning for you. So what is it about
some
this?
weren't so great. there were some.
Why does this feel like home to you? Because you made it feel like home for all of us.
I was just talking to Jake Gyllenhaal out in the hall, out in the Gyllenhaal, and I was saying that it's such an extraordinary program because you're in people's homes at the most intimate time of the day.
Breakfast.
In the morning, you're not, the game face isn't on, the kids are running around like banshees. The only one for you, George. And the beds aren't made, and the dishes aren't done. And yet people say, come into our house and join
Invite us into the house.
And that's because it's such an intimate time of day, they treat you like a friend. And I remember always saying, I would love it when we would go out on those bus trips and you would meet people and it was like you had these millions of friends that you don't know or haven't known. And that's really a privilege. Plus which, this is a private opinion, plus which it's the best named program in the history of television. To be able to say good morning. By the way, I always thought there should be a comma between morning and America. So please discuss. I'd like essays.
Amen. Oh, Charlie.
It should be good morning, comma America.
People
Right.
want to know, what have you been doing? They've missed you.
Nothing. Total indolence. I can tell you retirement does not improve your golf game. But I'm on a couple of boards and nonprofit boards, which is wonderful work. Much involved with the implementation on a nonpartisan, totally nonpartisan board involved with the implementation of the Health Care Act and trying to improve knowledge about that. And on my college's board, and my wife is the chair of her college board. And that's important work.
And you've been traveling, and the family is growing?
A lot of travel. Family is growing.
Yeah,
I understand you have pictures.
Baby Charlie.
There's
Arlene.
And that's Lang, who's my 3, and there's Reese, who's my 7-year-old grandson. And there's Lang and Reese together. They live out in Seattle, and there's the new one, Charlie, Canada. 2 weeks old today. There's my daughter Kate with Charlie. There's me with Charlie.
Nice to have some boys in the family, huh?
Charlie was born 2 weeks ago today, and I didn't know anything about the name Charlotte Joy Canada to be called Charlie. And I went into at Mount Sinai. I went into the recovery room at just after midnight. And Katie's lying there with Charlie on her chest and says, Charlie Gibson, I'd like you to meet Charlie Canada.
That's wonderful.
And that's a moment.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a moment.
There's a great photo also of the whole family, because you spend a lot of time Cape Cod, I know, and
this is the picture you have. This is before. Whole family. This is before Charlie was born. This is last summer. And that's my son-in-law Rob with the Washington Nats hat on.
Excuse me.
Shall I? Here, allow me.
Someone else is banging at the door. Who could it possibly be?
Who is it? Land shark.
Come on in.
Come on in. Mulligan man.
Who is it?
Hey. Come on in.
I wonder who the extra seat was for.
There is no way.
The old team has come back. It's a takeover. Watch out
Diane.
here.
Thank you for. You didn't bring a bundt cake? I thought you did.
All morning long, I've been.
This is just one more example of the fact that the hours suck here.
You don't miss these hours, do
Yes,
you?
we do not. We were talking earlier in our
You're
lives.
both night people.
Really night people. It was like getting up in the middle of the night, which is why we could do it all those years.
It's it's Joan London used to say it's the job where you have permanent jet lag,
Yeah.
and then the other thing is you can get invited to everything. But you can't get anything, right? But which is both good and bad.
I remember your wife telling me that you used to sometimes in the middle of dinner parties get up and just lie down under the table and let people keep eating, and you went to sleep under the table.
There was a time at 9 o'clock on Friday night the kids would say, "Dad's going away now," and I'd be awake. But it was just
However, you were talking about putting our game face on for the cameras.
Look at that. You see that?
I just want to remind everybody, you don't see everything at home.
But you want to tell them what was going on at that point?
Yes, I do.
That was during a presidential news conference, which was on at about 10 o'clock in the morning. We were held over to do the open and close, and the presidential news conference was going on.
Guess he was filibustering.
But it's a perfect indication of all of our personalities.
Hello, Ange. How are you? It was after George had left the White House, so it was okay. We paid attention when you were there, George.
Well, this is a main reason why I wanted both of you here this morning. I had the good fortune of learning from the best, from both of you. I think about you all the time. I'm glad that we're still such good friends. Both of you were both at my mother's and father's homegoing services down in Mississippi. Forever family. But what we have today and what we are enjoying today, you laid the groundwork. Those
Amen
of you,
to that.
and breakfast just wouldn't be the same. Breakfast wouldn't.
It's amazing. They have 5 hosts now. They do a segment. George does a segment every 2 weeks. It's amazing. We used to have to prepare this whole show, just the two of us.
Running around.
And then Robin came in. Now there's, I think it's actually 111 hosts overall.
It takes a village, Charlie.
We love you, Charlie. We love you, Diane.
I just want to say,
It's so
though,
easy for you.
Robin, working with you, our job was just to look at the light and say, wow. That's all we had to do.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, she had to go and get sincere.